Since 2020, God has literally been shaking everything. And I believe that one of the reasons why he's doing this is to get the noise out of the way so that we can hear the sounds that we need to hear. �YGNESCENT, a band that is just on the forefront right now, is one of those sounds and bands that has risen from the rubble of all the chaos and the shaking that's been going on. Stick around because we're going to talk to Jennifer Benson in just a moment. Well, welcome to all of our viewers and listeners. I love to see those numbers by the eyeball up to the left. And hey, remember, if you're watching us on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss any exciting edition of Raven's Heart. And tonight it is a double shot. We'll be back at 9:30 with a band from Texas, 𝐤𝐸𝐬𝐷𝐻𝑆𝑒𝑛, with their new stuff. But Jennifer, welcome to Raven's Heart.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it is so exciting to have you on. We've got comments coming in already. We've got Will Ferguson. He says words, and I love the way he spells that with a smiley face.
Awesome.
I am so excited to have you on because this year for your band has been what I would consider a breakthrough year. Your song Remnant hit number 46 on the rock Billboard charts and number 6 on the Christian rock charts. Here's the first question about this song. What is it about, and why do you think it is resonating so strongly with so many people?
Well, it was written during the pandemic and with all the craziness going on, and so I wanted to give people a song of hope. And with just with everything going on, and all the people getting sick and deaths, but also people just quitting, and the musicians, there's so many bands that just fell apart because of COVID, and they just kind of quit and gave up, and so many places shut down. And so I wanted to just be that hope that we are the remnant. We are not going to quit. We're going to keep going, because remnant is a small quantity of something remaining after a tragedy. And definitely that was a big tragedy among the whole world. And then I also want, people to know that, that God sees us in our pain, and he sees what we're going through. And even though we feel like giving up, we need to just keep going and keep trusting him. And he has so much more for us. Even if things seem crazy and don't make sense, he's still there. And, I just want to be that inspiration to not give up. So.
That is beautiful. He is sovereign, and everything works together for his purposes. It's just amazing. I was reading the book of Job today, Job chapter 42, where he got spoken to out of the whirlwind, and all the things that happened crazy in Job's life, all the tragedy and all the rubble, was so that he would see the sovereignty of God and how awesome God is. And we can talk more about that at a later date. We've got more comments rolling in. This is awesome. We've got Tiffany from The Last Trumpet. She says, hello, fam. And we also have Jermaine Nixon from Tricord. He said, what's up, Jennifer?
Whoa,
so we got some fans in the house tonight. Yeah. While you were writing Remnant and while you were producing this song, did you have a feeling on the inside at all, or were your spidey senses tingling that, hey, this song's really gonna get out there and catch people's ears and have the success that it's had? Did you have that feeling at all when you were working on the song?
Yeah, I felt like God was telling me it was gonna blow up, and that it was gonna be a special song, because I kept seeing this word remnant. I mean, obviously it's in the Bible, but then I started seeing it on social media, and then my pastor was talking about the remnant, and I'm like, I just have God is speaking to me through this. I have to write a song about it. And the song was written pretty quickly. Like I had a chorus and like a melody and verses for the chorus pretty quickly. And then we were, as a family, we were going on vacation to Florida. So I decided, well, it's a long, like 20-hour drive. So I'm going to just work on this song and focus on it while I'm sitting there in the car. So I got the verse done and got everything done. And then sent the melody and the lyrics and everything to the guitarist in IGNESCENT. And he wrote the guitar part pretty quickly. And then we worked with Cameron Pierce-Mazel, and he produced the song. And it came out exactly the way I had pictured it. And I knew we had something special, and I knew God was going to do something big with that song. So
I am not surprised at all that it's gone to the level that it has, because when you received that word from the Lord, you saw it so clearly. You're in direct alignment with what he's doing, and he wants to bring his remnant to the forefront right now. Yeah. And that's why it hit the rock Billboard charts. No surprise about that at all, the Christian rock charts. But I am just astounded. When I heard it, I started to leap on the inside. I was like, yes, they get it. They get it. They get it, because they've been preaching the same thing where I go to church too. So kind of amazing. And I don't think our pastors are comparing notes either. I think they're tapped in the same spirit.
Exactly.
Well, we've been talking about the song a lot, so let's stop the talk here and let's get into some tunes. And this is IGNESCENT with Remnant.
What's left of us from this catastrophe? The chosen ones for eternity. We rise
Okay, that struck a chord with our viewers. No pun intended, but maybe it was. Michelle, Suzanne, the comments are rolling in. We got 3 flames. I can read those emojis. I get that. Jermaine, I'm still learning Germanese. I need Rosetta Stone to interpret this, but that's all good stuff with Jermaine's hieroglyphics and his emojis that he's got there. But I do understand that. He's like, you guys smack. And then we got Will Ferguson says, boom, that's fire. If I crank the bass up on that, in the car. Wow. You know, when that song starts, it takes me back to the older days of Lacuna Coil before they all kind of went off the deep end with some stuff. And it was really kind of neat to hear that, how you're redeeming that sound with that. And I have to do this. And this really did happen the other night. We have our studio dog, Amy. She is our pit terrier. There we go. She's got her headphones on. She was up here jamming out with it, to it with me the other night, and it's one of Amy's picks. So you've got Amy's paw of approval on that song.
Aw, thank you. That's awesome.
You can put a little paw on the next album on the back, one
absolutely.
golden paw. So,
Absolutely.
I mean, what more can you ask for? I mean, number 46 on the Billboard rock charts and Amy's paw of approval. What a year for you guys.
I know. That's awesome.
That song is amazing, and the video just matches the song. It just captures the eye. It's very well done. And as we all know, a music video can make or break your music career. Just ask Billy Squier about that and how that happened to him. How did the concept for this video come about?
Well, we just wanted something like with a ton of energy and just to match the song. And so we called up the video director, Joseph Castleberry, and just got some ideas from him. And he's like, well, come to my studio and, you know, you can use my area. And then he has like a rooftop, which was kind of crazy because we went on his rooftop in the middle of summer, I think it was, but it was like a rooftop that was really thin, and I had these high heels on, and he's like, well, just walk very carefully so you don't fall through the roof. I'm like, oh, well, that's great, really. And I'm sitting here dancing. I'm like, I can't really dance carefully, like, and headbang carefully. So I'm like, Lord, please help me. Please let me not fall through this roof. But so that was kind of crazy. And yeah, he kind of came up with like these different directions and different things that he wanted us to do. And we had some ideas ourselves of, you know, what we wanted, and it just kind of came together that way. And it was a lot of fun. We had a fun day shooting. So.
Yeah, when you watch it, there's so much work that went into that. I can just imagine the edits and cuts that he did and all the different camera angles. That was just very well put together.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I would have never known that you did that on a roof. That is so cool. What was the temperature that day when you were out there?
It was, thankfully, it was pretty warm. It was like 70s, 80s. Not like the one music video I shot a few years back. It was outside in Chicago in the middle of February, and I literally had like frostbite in my hands. It was awful. But thankfully, this was a warm day, all good. So yeah.
Yeah, we've got a comment from Will on the video. He says, "Nice lighting overlays on that." Oh, we got somebody who knows what's going on there. Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, people don't realize, because when you watch the video, you're watching it in the comfort of your own home. You might be sipping a cup of coffee, you know, like this right here, and you're comfortable, and you don't realize the work that goes into it, and you know what the temperatures and the conditions might actually be when somebody's doing it. You know, and when I'm watching that, I'm like, man, they're just having a good time. I just thought that was in, you know, some studio or something like that. But that is so cool. So you've played on a rooftop.
Yes, we played on a rooftop. It was awesome.
The Beatles. There we go.
Yeah, and we had a view of the city. It was just beautiful, actually.
Did anybody see you doing that and stop and be like, hey, what are those people doing up on the roof up there? Did anybody stop and say anything?
No, no one did. It was pretty high up there, so I don't know if people couldn't see us or what, but yeah, no one really said anything, so we were good.
Oh, and Will reminded me, you too also played on a rooftop too. See, that's one of the reasons why you're so successful this year. So if you want to be successful in music, play on a rooftop.
That's right.
But
that's right.
You have to get permission before you do that though first, right?
Yeah, you do. Just be careful of how the floor is, you know, it might be little things, so they'll fall through.
I mean, this has been a great year for you, But this has not been overnight success by any means at all. How long have you been making music and at this?
We've been around for over 10 years, so it's been a really long time, and it's just been a gradual build. We've just been working really hard and doing what we can. Like, I started off booking the band myself and managing it myself and just doing everything just so we could get things going. And it is a lot of work. It's a lot of fun, especially this is my passion. This is what I love to do. So it's, it's definitely a lot of fun, but I just started off like booking shows at Chicago bars and Chicago churches, and then it kind of grew from there. And then this year we played at the Edge stage. It was at Life Fest, and we played at Incarceration Fest in Ohio, and that was a pretty big fest. Like, we've never done that before. Then we played at a fest in New York and Indiana, Illinois. This summer, it's just been crazy, but in a good way. We've had so much fun, and God has really blessed us, and we can't wait to see what else happens. But it definitely, it just kind of, since 2020, 2021, it just kind of started blowing up. And I'm thankful, though, because this is what I love to do, and this is my heart, and I want to share God's love and his message through music and encourage people at the shows and just love on them. And this is just a great way to be able to do that, to mix my passion for music and my love for God and my love for people, and just mix that all together in one. And so I'm thankful that I can do that, and God has blessed me.
As you're saying this, the word that comes to my mind is obedience, and you're being blessed for your obedience. And a lot of times when we think of obedience, we think of the religious mindset of life has to be miserable. I have to give everything up, and it's just going to be this strict adherence. But man, obedience to the Lord is awesome. It's fun. You're an example of that with what you're doing and the heart behind what you have that you're doing. And speaking of the heart, I do have to ask a $64,000 question for the evening. Over this 10 years, was there ever a time you just felt like, I am going to quit because this is just not going the way that I thought it was going to go, or as fast as it should go? Did you ever have that problem?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Many times. I felt like quitting. I knew I wouldn't, because I knew this is what God has called me to do. But the feeling of it, like, it's never going to get there. This is so much work, and I can't keep up with everything. It's, it's hard. And I've had many times. I've even talked to my bassist, Ian, and one time I'm like, wow, I'm like, this is just not going good. And, and he encouraged me. He's like, don't quit, Jen, keep going, So I've had people in my life that encouraged me, and there's just, God inside me that is, or God speaking to me that is always, encouraging me and telling me not to quit, and family members. And I have a lot of encouragement. And even though there's days that it's like, it's really hard, I know this is where I'm supposed to be. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm going to keep going, whether I feel like doing it on days or not. I'm just going to keep going. So
that is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. Wow. And that encourages me. It really does, because we've been at this for 4 years now doing this, and we're finally starting to see the fruit of the labors. Yeah. It's been, so it's really exciting. And we've got some more comments that are coming in. Will says, I like this, heavy metal soldiers for God with a smiley face. Then Jermaine makes a good point. He says, obedience opens up so many doors because God can trust you with more. Yes, that is so true. The small things, the really small things. And then one last comment from Will here. He says, we know that feeling, and right after that feeling, we came across Glenn and Rockfest. God is so awesome. Yeah, I met Will just as they were thinking about shutting down their band Suffering Gift, and they were on stage at Rockfest in Charleston, and God is using them mightily now. So it's really encouraging. I think it's at those points that you're about ready to give up, God brings you to that point where you're like, okay, God, you got to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Because I can't do it.
Christopher Shelton says, been there, but we're in the fight. No turning back.
Awesome.
Man, everything that you're doing tonight is just striking such a chord with our viewers this evening. And thank you all for participating in the conversation tonight with Jennifer. Ever since I could read and got my hands on a dictionary, I was always fascinated with words and what words meant. I would go on and even try to figure out what my name meant. And I think that was something that just God put in me that now I apply to the scriptures. But what does your band's name mean, IGNESCENT, and what does it tell us about you?
Yeah, well, actually, I prayed for the name for a long time, and then I started like looking through the dictionary, and I don't know why, but I was looking through the eyes, and it just popped out that word ignescent, and it means to ignite. So to ignite hearts on fire for Jesus and with our music, and so that's what it means to ignite.
And I'm learning how to pronounce it properly this evening. I just can't get it out right.
Oh, that's okay. IGNESCENT. I know a lot of people, have a hard time.
I'm going to blame it on the fact that I'm a transplant from Connecticut to South Carolina. So I'm kind of confused in my dialects a little bit.
No, you're all good.
You've said you've played a lot of live shows this year, this summer, and I've been watching you guys on Facebook and the social media. And yeah, you have been busy, which is awesome. Yeah. What are some of the bands that you've shared the stage with? But you've shared the stage with some faith-based bands, and I love it when a band like yours, a faith-based band, shares the stage with bands that don't believe what we do. I think that's awesome.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, we've shared the stage with a ton of different bands. Buck Cherry, Gemini Syndrome. We've actually opened for, me too, for Dan Sperry of America's Got Talent. He's a magician, but they had us open for him before he did his magician act. So that was kind of cool. We've opened for Saliva, September Morning. As far as Christian bands, Stars Go Dim, we've opened for. And John Cooper's other band, Fight the Fury, we opened for them and got to meet John and Seth, and they're just awesome people. That was so cool to be able to play with them and just hang out with them. Just great people. We've, like I said, we played at Rockfest, and at Rockfest there was Lita Ford played there, Evanescence, Lacey Sturm, Flyleaf, and we've opened for Lacey Sturm, we've opened for Flyleaf, just a ton of different bands. Striper we've opened for, and so God has blessed us, and
wow.
It's been awesome just to meet all these different people, and and everyone, they come from different backgrounds, different beliefs, but it's just been really cool to hang out with them and get to know them. And so
that is so cool. And when you go into those places, a lot of people don't understand this. I kind of get it because I go to all sorts of rock shows, and I'm back there praying in tongues and doing all sorts of stuff and, changing the atmosphere that's in there. But when you guys go in to a place that's dark and there's darkness there, you're bringing the presence of God, and none of that freaks God out at all. That's where he wants you to be, and that's where he wants to be. Just like in the book of Genesis, when the Holy Spirit's hovering over the darkness and the chaos, he loves that because he can bring order out of it, and God's going to bless you with that. Tiffany's weighing in, and she's going back to your name. Yes, light them up. Yes, and keep bringing that light. And Will's like, no way. Okay, we want to travel with you. What is one band that you haven't been able to play with yet that's really on your list up at the top that you want to share the stage with?
One band would be Skillet. We've played at a fest that they played at, but we haven't directly opened up right before them for direct support. And so that is on my to-do list for, this year, 2023, whenever, very soon, hopefully. So that's definitely a band we would love to open for. So hopefully soon. And you're right. You're right about when we play in the bars and all that, we've had people come up to us and ask for prayer, and I've seen God work in those situations, and I've seen God move. And so you're right about that. It's so cool to see what he does and to be able to minister to people at bars. I mean, that's God's heart. I mean, look at Jesus's life. And so, yeah, that's what we do. And so it's so fun.
That's awesome. I love that heart. Everything that you see around me here, everything that you see going on here came out of me being bold and going to some rock shows to share and speak the word of God to artists from some European metal bands, and that God blessed with all of this that we have here to continue to reach out. And may God just continue to multiply. And may you see a lot of fruit from that, from what you're doing. Hey, everybody, we got to take a quick commercial break because you know what? We got to pay the bills around here, speaking of all this stuff. So we'll be right back in a moment.
A perfect way to proudly display your love of God and country is with a custom-made wooden flag from 100% reclaimed materials. The Rugged American Flag Company can design a custom wooden flag for you or a loved one. A custom wooden flag makes the perfect gift for those serving in the military, law enforcement, emergency services, or any other profession of service. Call 803-521-0708 or email the Rugged American Flag Company, that's the Rugged American FLGCO at gmail.com to design your flag today. Stay rugged and rock on, America.
That's right. We love the Rugged American Flag Company, and we got more comments rolling in. Will's encouraged by how you've been received in bars, and that's where a lot of bands start, is in bars, even faith-based bands, to take their message out. I was at a show at a bar about a year ago, and our friend Ziggy was playing there. He's been a good friend of Lithoscry for several years, and his pastor started praying, and there was a guy in the bar, and I won't repeat what he said because people were still talking over the prayer. Guy gets up, he's like, "Everybody shut the up." He's trying to pray. I was like, that's awesome. That's probably what it was like when Jesus came in on Palm Sunday on the donkey, when everybody was making all the noise. I don't think that was all religious speak that was coming out in the excitement. So, you know, I've asked a lot of the questions that you probably get asked on many different interviews, but let's talk about some different things. What is it that you like most about being a musician?
Well, I love writing new music and releasing it and just kind of seeing like how people respond to it and what they think of it. But I think the main thing I love is live shows. I love just performing, and then I love, talking to people afterwards and meeting people. And so that's my favorite thing is live shows. That's definitely a ton of fun. So.
Of course, the live shows, you're putting out basically a finished product when you're on stage.
Yeah.
But the writing part, that's hard work. That's not easy. What do you do? And we've got a ton of musicians watching this evening, and I know a ton of musicians more that are going to be listening and watching later on. What do you do when you get creative writer's block? How do you overcome that?
Well, sometimes I'll just write little words or text myself little words of an idea for the song. And then I'll just come back later, like take a break and come back later. Or if I'm having a real problem with coming up with something, I'll ask someone, to help me, or co-write with someone. Like next week, I'm co-writing a song with 𝐥𝐤𝐳 of 𝐷isciple. So I'm really excited about that. I'll be in Nashville doing that. So there's a song I had like a concept for, and I don't know. It's I'm kind of stuck like in it. And so I don't know. I just thought it would be cool to co-write with him and see what he comes up with. So sometimes I do that. But if it's just like on my own writing lyrics, I'll just text myself some words and concept for the song, and then take a break and come back maybe the next day, and hopefully I'm refreshed and can think of something.
Do you have stuff come to you, lyrics, ideas, things like that? Like when you wake up in the morning and you're just like, "Oh, thank you, Lord. You just released that to me now that my brain has been reset." Do you ever have that happen?
Yeah, I definitely have that happen. I've also had happened where I would dream a melody and dream some lyrics too, and then I'd wake up, and so then I'll record it. But when I don't record it and I dream about it, it goes away forever. So, and I get mad at myself. Like sometimes I'm like, I'm just too tired to record that, but now I make sure I do, or else I'll forget that.
That was going to be my next question is, does any of this get downloaded to you in a dream? Because that's something that I can kind of sense, even though we're talking over the internet, that we're kind of on the same wavelength, and that happens a lot over here, and it gets kind of freaky. And sometimes my wife and we will have the same dream simultaneously at the same time. So
no way. I've never had that. That's so cool.
Yeah. It's crazy. Cool. Yeah, it's crazy. We're going to talk more about that as we get on. As a matter of fact, for our viewers and our listeners, we just opened up a new stream called Lithoscry, and my wife Deb made her debut this past week. It's on our YouTube channel where she talks about a dream. I did not have this simultaneous dream. She had it where it was very vivid, what was shown to her, and it's pretty wild, and it's pretty accurate too. So you have to check that out on the Lithoscry site on YouTube, and it's called Lithoscry, and it's called Angelic Stardust is the title, which is pretty cool. Hey, Tiffany was weighing in too. Let's go back up here. Her comment. She says, "We love being with people is our favorite too. Absolutely love that." We got some that say, "Hey, we go on long rides on the country, the beach, the water." Yeah, there's different things to get rid of that writer's block. Very cool. Me personally, what I do is I go for a run.
Oh, that's good.
Clears the mind. Yep, totally clears the mind.
Yeah.
How did your band come about? How'd you all meet? How'd that happen?
Well, crazy enough, I put an ad out on Craigslist because I just wanted to start a band. So I'm like, well, here we go. Let's try this out and let's see what happens. And I contacted some people on Bandmix too. Ian actually, I met through he was a friend of the guitarist, so he's the bassist in the band, and I met him through the guitarist. So that's kind of what I did. I did auditions and just put it together that way, and thankfully it worked out. But
so it was Craigslist and not farmersonly.com where you met
right.
Okay,
that was my next step, but I didn't have to go that far, thankfully.
Hey, if there's anybody out there watching or listening that your band came about because of farmersonly.com, email me at Lithoscry, Lithoscry @gmail.com, and we'll talk. I actually put a challenge out like that about a year ago when we interviewed Dr. 𝐦𝐭 𝐦𝐤𝐬, very well-known theologian, and we were talking about metal and rock and everything like that, and he was really into it. And lo and behold, like 5 days after the interview, I get an email from a guy. He's like, "Hey, all of my metal music that I write is based on Dr. 𝐦𝐬𝐬's theological books." It's like, okay, well, here we go. So farmersonly.com, that is the challenge tonight.
That would be amazing if someone responded to that.
And Jermaine says, "You don't have to be lonely with Farmers Only." When you were going through the Craigslist, did you get some interesting people that showed up that wanted to be a part of the band? What was that like? Was it like doing American Idol, where you had them audition? How did that all roll out? That kind of fascinates me.
Yes, I did have some interesting people. Like some things I just wouldn't respond to. I'm like, no, I can tell that's not going to work out. So I'm just not going to respond to that email. But then I had people come in for auditions, and they could not play. Just I don't know. I felt bad, but I'm like, I'm sorry, this is not going to work out. They couldn't play for the life of them. And then I wisened up, and I'm like, send me a video of a song first instead of just coming in like, out of the blue. So that kind of helped things along, getting that video audition first, because I could tell, if they could play and all that. But yeah, I've had some interesting things happen.
I'm sure you're not the first artist that I've worked with that found somebody on Craigslist. As a matter of fact, the first artist I ever worked with, she lives up in New York. She found her producer on Craigslist. So it worked, and they've been working forever together since like late 90s. She can correct me if I'm wrong. Late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah. And
Wow.
phenomenal guy. I mean, just one of the nicest guys you would ever want to meet. You could just hang out with him. Hey, we got another comment here. I want to bring this up. Jermaine. Jermaine says, this band is headliner material. So awesome and beautiful hearts. Cough. GR23 cough. Well, we might talk about that at a later date, Jermaine. Stand by on what we got cooking over here at Raven's Heart and Lithoscry. And we got another comment, wow, on everything that's being talked about. What was that wow that you met on Craigslist or everything like that? But I don't know. But so all of this is hard work, but it's your passion.
Yeah.
But the music lifestyle is not Nickelback, where you got a big bathroom where you can play baseball in it and all that stuff. I mean, I've been to many shows with some very prominent bands, and they're carting their own stuff off the stage after the show. The days of the 80s are over. But with all that hard work, what do you do to have fun and de-stress? What do you find enjoyable besides music?
Well, I gotta be honest, I love to eat. Like I love Cheetos and I love Pepsi, but I'm trying to cut down. But yeah, I love to eat, love to go out to eat to restaurants, and also like to movies and just hang out with friends. And yeah, that's kind of what I like to do. Is
I got to ask you.
A restaurant.
You just opened yourself up to two more questions. What's the best movie you've recently seen? What's your favorite one?
Recently? Oh my goodness. Batman. That was really good. And then the one, I can't remember the name of it right now. It was so good. I'll have to get back to you. I can't think of the name of it, but yeah, I like Batman was most recent, and that was fun. I love that movie. That was really cool to see. But and I love older movies too. I love like Disney movies, and there's an older movie called Dead Poet Society. I don't know, that one. That's one. I love that one, and so I watch movies from different decades, and just kind of check them out on Netflix or whatever it may be. And that one's really cool.
Yeah, I'm half a century old, so I remember Dead Poets Society. Not that I am part of the Dead Poets Society, because I'm half a century old. But I do remember that. Favorite Disney movie, which one is it?
Favorite Disney movie? I love Cinderella. Yeah, and Beauty and the Beast. I love Beauty and the Beast too. Yeah. How
about Little Mermaid?
Little Mermaid. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Definitely. What is that world? I love that song.
Yes. I combed my hair this evening with a dingle hopper. So
there you go.
Hey, the Grand is weighing in. Hey, welcome to the live stream tonight. He says, shalom, y'all. Shalom. And we got boom, 80s fave right there. And what's your favorite kind of food? Is it Italian, Mexican?
I would say, Italian. I love pizza. Like Giordano's pizza in Chicago is my favorite. Or Illuminati's thin crust is to die for. I love it. It's awesome.
Oh, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. So are there any new projects in the works right now that you're working on that we might be being able to feast our ears and eyes on soon?
Yeah, definitely. We just co-wrote a song with Jeremy Valentine of the band. Well, he used to be in the band New Year's Day. And so that's almost all recorded. I'm recording a few vocals for that next week, like finishing up some vocals.
Nice.
And then we're also finishing up finishing up vocals for a remake of a song by Phil Collins. So yes, I won't give away the name, but so that should be releasing soon. And then we have another remake of another song, and I won't say the band name for that. And then we are currently writing a few songs, so hoping to record those soon. So yeah, we should have something out by September. I would think end of September. So
nice. Phil Collins, man, he's my man. I grew up on Phil Collins, Little Studio, and all that good
Really?
stuff. Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. As a
Awesome.
matter of fact, I think it was the King Biscuit Flower Hour. Boy, I'm really dating myself. Back on the radio, where on Saturday nights they would have a concert. They would feature a concert on the King Biscuit Flower Hour, and they featured Phil Collins, and that's when he had that's when he was big with his song "In the Air" when that came out. And I just sat there, and his backup band was the Fabulous 𝐥𝐻𝐳𝐵𝐵𝑠 for that show. And I just remember sitting there as a kid, just fascinated, trying to imagine what was going on the stage, in the crowd, what he was doing on the stage. It just opened up my mind. I was like, that is so cool. And Phil Collins, oh man, I can't wait to hear that. That is so cool. The Grand has a question. Will you do a premiere on this platform? Yeah, I think we're going to have to do that. Yeah, let's do that. Graham, that is a great idea. Jennifer is in my fave contacts right now. So when that comes out, let's do that. We're going to do that. We're going to do a premiere on this platform on Raven's Heart. I think that is going to be awesome. And Jennifer, how can people keep up with the news of what's going on and get their hands on some hot merch?
They can go to IGNESCENTmusic.com. That's our website. But even better would be following us on social media. So on Instagram, it's at IGNESCENT Music. Facebook, it's IGNESCENT Music. So just IGNESCENT Music. We're on TikTok under IGNESCENT as well. And then there's like a link in our Instagram bio and our Facebook bio too. It's a link tree. So if you click on that, that will take you to different things you can select. So you can go and purchase our songs on iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon Music. And then I think it's like maybe a few buttons down is our merch store. So you can check out like all our merch and order that, that online. And it also has the link to the music video that's on YouTube for Remnant. Just go there and check that out.
Everybody buy merch from this band. This is a band that needs to be supported. They are being obedient to what God's called them to do. They've been through the trials, the tribulations, and there is fruit. And where there is fruit, there needs to be support. So take it from your friendly neighborhood Raven's Heart host, buy merch. Go do it today. And the Grand, he is so excited that we're going to do a premiere on this platform. He says, yeah.
Awesome.
And he's like, I'm going to be looking into that. There you go. So we got somebody who's going to be buying some merch. And for everybody that's watching right now, I'm going to take a break for about 45 minutes and be back at 9:30 for our Double Shot Thursday. Because as you can see at the bottom, we got Dead Sin coming on. And I'm just basically going to throw the script aside and we're going to take a listen to some of their new songs and have some fun. So I got to fill this coffee cup up. Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us this evening. And we look forward to that premiere when that comes out and doing it right here on Raven's Heart. Do you have anything else that you'd like to share before we close out this evening?
No, I just thank you for having me so much. It's been a lot of fun.
I hope so. We've had a good time tonight. And remember, you don't have to be lonely on Farmers Only. And until next time, people, peace out and rock on.
Lithoscry.com